Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood.
And welcome back to hour 4 of the Woodies, a very special day where we here at Good Morning Driftwood celebrate the best in entertainment, locations,
Society.
society,
Entertainment,
thoughts,
Science.
fiction, non-fiction,
Fact.
trickery. We celebrate it all here with our very
best of
special.
Driftwood.
And
The
who
best.
are we?
Who are we?
For those just joining.
Why would you join at hour 4 is the crazy
I
part.
would imagine the entire island of Driftwood has been up since the crack of dawn, just waiting for these to get started,
Yeah.
and are not turning their radios off until we finish these awards.
If you are only joining in just now, you have missed such awards as Best Cinematographer, The Greatest Showman,
Mm-hmm.
Most Hands on a Horse.
Mm-hmm. Also, most. That's the award. It's
That was
the
a
word
great
for
award.
most.
That was
Most.
a controversial pick this year. I can't believe the winner of Most this year.
Mhm.
Oof.
I thought it was well deserved.
But if you are,
She was the most.
Yeah.
And gloriously so.
Yeah.
I appreciated every bit of it.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you are,
Delilah Swanson, we thank you.
we thank you, we celebrate you.
You're the most.
Listen, we're all feeling a little bit low energy right now because we just did the in memoriam section and it was
Oof.
long.
Mm-hmm.
But we're back.
We
We're
are
back.
back.
We got more awards.
And if you are joining us on hour 4, as always, I'm Penelope. Joining me in the studio, Dirk
Mm.
and Bench.
Mm.
Mm. This is the peak and pinnacle of any broadcasting career, is the 5-hour magnum opus that is the award ceremony, the
Mhm.
Woodies here. We were in training for weeks for this, testing the muscles, the vocal muscles, and the facial muscles, and also the hand muscles for all those rounds of applause.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get the claps just right.
It's a lot of wrist strength involved.
Indeed.
You want to get them the right distance away from the microphone,
Mm.
and you want to get them absolutely pitch perfect.
Mm.
But hey, let's not waste any more time
Mm-mm.
here.
We got these awards to give out.
Yeah.
So many.
Now, just to remind new listeners, every Woodies winner receives a wonderful trophy, a £100 gift voucher for the Yum Truck, and of course, bragging rights.
Mm.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I think those bragging rights are the most valuable of all.
Absolutely.
Street cred,
Street cred.
That's what
radio cred.
we're in here for.
I would argue radio credibility is the highest form of credibility.
Mm. That's all. Platinum
Television.
black.
Television,
No
film,
credibility.
politics,
No.
who cares? Radio,
Mm-hmm.
upper echelon of society. So let's get on to this
Let's
next award.
get moving. Bench, you're up next.
Well, the next award, very excitedly, we have Best Wet. And the nominees for Best Wet are Bath, The Seven Seas, and Tap Water. And the Woody goes to The Seven Seas.
Congratulations, Seven Seas.
Congratulations.
Seven Seas
to the
winning it
Seven
again.
Seas. Wow. What a year has it been for the Seven Seas?
Seven Seas, 8-time winners of Best Wet.
Mm.
They feels like they take it every year.
I feel like they wanted to I feel like they had 7 as a goal, 7 awards in mind, 1 for each sea. And now that they've surpassed that, really just piling onto that legacy,
Yeah.
you know?
A lot of people were wondering, are they going to drop out, this year? Because they've
Go out
already
on
got,
top like we...
Exactly. But then, of course, we all remembered it is a body of water and cannot formally comment on any of this,
Yeah,
No.
you'd have to destroy one of the seas.
which we would
Or
never.
add a sea to make it a different entity.
We would never do
Sixth grade.
either of those things.
No, I don't know that that's possible.
To add
Adding
a C?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you had like a digger, like a big enough digger, a heavy enough workforce, but then aren't you just moving, like, you know, in religion, how you need to bless the water to make it holy water.
Okay, let's see where this goes.
How do you bless this? How do you make the sea and not just a batch of water you've taken from your above ground swimming pool and put elsewhere? You know,
Well, it can't be a lake.
can't be a lake.
Can't be
exactly.
a pond, anything like this. I
If
feel like
it's
it needs to
moving
be
too much, it's a river.
part of the ocean, you know, and a sizable. Can't be a
hard.
gulf. Gulfs are not
No.
seas.
No.
No.
Gulfs
To
are
create a new sea would be a tremendous undertaking. And I feel like, I think it would need to be created by nature to be a real sea.
exactly.
And that's why the seven seas are so storied and so revered, and why they keep racking up these awards. So
You
congratulations.
really can't argue with them.
Congratulations,
Congratulations to the seven Seas.
Wonderful.
You
And
get bragging rights.
Indeed.
absolutely.
Even though they can't talk, but we'll give it for them.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And Dirk, you've got the next one up.
Indeed. This is
Approaching
for
the podium.
the fancy boy or girl of the year.
Mm.
And the nominees are Samson P. Schubert, Bertrand Bentley Waddington, and Delilah Fortissimus II.
Such an illustrious lineup.
What a
Deserving.
category.
Deserving candidates all. And I think we can all agree that he really sealed up this award back during the Driftwood Marathon. Bertrand Bentley Waddington. Give it up for him. He skipped the entire marathon while wearing a powdered wig and using a fluffy quill to sign copies of his Manifesto of Fancy, which he called his Fancifesto. And when he finished the marathon, he dove into the fountain at Cthulhu Memorial Park, which he had filled with champagne. And then he proceeded to perform a burlesque rendition of Singin' in the Rain as the cast of the film 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, circled the fountain wearing wheelie sneakers.
Sam Rockwell's so good on this wheelie.
Great on those wheelies.
And of course, that also had the titular Woody himself.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody
There you go.
Harrelson.
Yep. And once the song was over, he sat on a bench swing that was attached to a helicopter that airlifted him out of the fountain as the cast of the film 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri sang Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, and waved into the sky as Bertrand Bentley Waddington disappeared over Finicky Ridge. Just a breathtaking display of whimsy and fanciness,
Every single time you think that's over, he gets fancier.
right?
Every single time you're like, oh, that's enough fancy for the day. Suddenly,
More fancy.
he's in a champagne fountain.
It was a close race between the three of them, and I think he really knew that this was going to seal it for him.
He was playing to win. He
Yeah.
knew he was working the circuit,
Yeah.
as you might say.
And Delilah Fortissimus, she was there, and you saw her. She gave to her credit, very honorable. She kind of had a look in her eye, and she gave him a little applause. She was like, "You got us this year. You got us. Well done, friend."
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
And now, on the topic of fancy,
Oh,
we
yeah?
move on to Best Park.
Mm.
Best Park.
Best Park.
3 nominees here, each illustrious and fancy in their own way. Up first, our first nominee, Meadow Park on the west of the Isles. The judges commented on its excellent new swing set, the remodeled fountain, and of course the community-backed litter picks that have left the park in the best condition it's ever been in. Up next,
We all appreciate.
we appreciate Joy Remuneration Park, dedicated to the memory of Joy Remuneration, one of the Isles' earliest nuns. While she was never canonized as a saint due to suspicions around her "is that a coin hiding behind your ear" trick, she is remembered as being the Isles' only dedicated religious nun/amateur magician.
Yeah, you can't dabble in magic
She
and
was-
still be
yeah.
revered as a religious figure.
She was heavily accused of witchcraft because
Yeah.
of that one. What's that behind your ear trick?
Especially in old times, any sort of sleight of hand or
No.
trickery of any kind would immediately draw suspicions
Burn
of
of the stake.
devilry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John of the Sea.
Make sure that you check out the statue dedicated to her, of her surrounded by the many doves she loved to release from a hat. Joy Remuneration Park is nominee number 2 for Best Park. And the third and final nominee for Best Park, South Derrick Park and Ride. With 250 car parking spaces, 10 fast charge electrical charging ports, and a new enclosed waiting area, why deal with the Derrick traffic when you can park and ride the bus the rest of the way?
There's an unexpected entry into the nominees, but I think that's a credit to our council for broadening and opening the interpretation of park beyond what people might consider a park to be.
And look,
that is the best parking experience. You have a great park when you go there.
Unquestionably the most well-attended of the parks. Now, that in itself is not the only qualification, but more people go to this park than any other park.
The effect it has on the lives of the people is a factor in all of these awards, the effect that these nominees have on the citizenry of Driftwood. And so we do have to take that into account. All very deserving nominees.
Of course, there can only be one winner.
Of course.
And the winner of Best Park, Joy Remuneration Park. Congratulations, Joy Remuneration Park. Just another one of Joy's marvelous tricks, isn't it? Winning this award. But hey, isn't the best trick she ever did loving her God?
I don't know if
the
way you characterized that made it sound like she didn't actually love God. It sounded like it was a trick from her.
I was trying to really
everyone
pull
into
her
thinking.
two things together, and as soon as I said it, I thought that didn't really come out the way I thought
it was
would.
good wordplay,
Yeah.
but the implication was that she didn't actually and just fooled everyone into believing she
You know what?
liked
Let's just
God.
quickly move on. Hey, here you've got another nominee over there.
I do. This is a big one. This is a very exciting one. We have coming up next, Outstanding Achievement in Piracy. Outstanding Achievement in Piracy.
Who could it be?
It was always an exciting one.
Well, we have 4 nominees for this category.
Okay.
Very excited. It was a very tough year.
Hotly contested.
Exactly. The first nominee on the list is Lil Jeffrey Danvers for Wiley Child's Children's Home.
There's
Derek.
my guy,
we
Lil
have the
Jeffrey.
favorite.
We, of course, all remember the mutiny over at the orphanage
Indeed.
that Lil Jeffrey Danvers led and is now still the leader of.
I was the patron of this orphanage. There was a mutiny. Little Jeffrey took control of the orphanage and then also commandeered a Build-A-Bear boat.
As one does.
Incredible.
As one does. And I encourage him and his exploits and endeavors in the future.
Hey, this just being nominated, it reflects positively on you.
Yeah,
And
thank you. I appreciate that.
Next up, we have people refusing to pay for films. People refusing to pay for films. Nominated for Achievement in Piracy. Of course,
Digital
the Pirate
piracy.
Bay, all of that stuff.
One of the
Very high up there.
less exciting options, but probably most prevalent and most wide-reaching.
Again, very similar to the car park. It is the most well-attended form of piracy.
And these awards, we stay updated with the times.
Exactly.
As
Yes.
new things happen that can be applied to these awards, we include
I'm
them.
sure the pirates of old Driftwood would be, quite frankly, mortified and horrified to know that the current modern day piracy, a lot of it is just people sitting in their houses downloading an episode of a television show.
They'd be
I'm
like,
sure
this is not piracy.
absolutely not. There's literally no
These
scurvy
wimps.
involved unless
No.
you've gone really, really wrong in nutrition choices. And I'm sure
Which does happen with some people
It
who
does.
just
It happens.
sit at home all day gaming and downloading movies.
And
It
also,
absolutely
look,
happens.
we all get it. It's really hard to find where to watch Columbo episodes. Sometimes, you know,
That's the distribution problem.
Yeah.
And so
We
if
don't
people
have-
need to
yeah.
turn to piracy, that happens. I
It
can't support
happens.
it. I do not condone it.
absolutely
But
not.
it happens.
It happens.
And we have to acknowledge that.
Next up, we have the Von Dead family. The Von Deads, of course, an aristocratic family in the island who have had their hands in many a piracy pots across the years, including
say that again for
in
me.
many a piracy pots across the years.
Oh, many a piracy pot. That
Many a
sounds like
piracy
a very
pots.
fun little warm-up.
But I'd launch into a Music Man style musical.
What do you
Put
talk?
your hat and cane down. Get those tap shoes off.
He was ready to go.
Oh, well, fine. Guess I'll just move on. I prepared a whole thing, but that's fine. Last nominee in this category is Thieves Who Do a Voice. Thieves Who Do a Voice.
I love a thief who does a voice.
Oh, thieves who don't do voices, get out of here.
It's
Yeah.
not piracy, it's just thievery.
Really lean into the theater and drama of what you're about to do. If you're about to steal some stuff, make it a show.
Oh.
Make us laugh.
Have a disguise. Have a voice.
Put
Have
a
a
little-
backstory.
Put many pie in the piracy pot. Get the little tap shoes on. Make it is
There you go.
entertaining robbery.
Take your slice of pie in the piracy pot.
Take your slice of pie in the pottery pot.
Pottery pot?
Piracy
Piracy
pot.
pot.
Pottery pot is redundant, Bench.
Pottery pot is redundant?
Yeah. Because if it's a pot, then presumably pottery was done to make it.
Presumably. You know what happens when you make a presumption.
What?
And the award goes to Little Jeffrey Danvers, Wiley.
There we go, Jeffrey.
Congratulations.
Bring it home, Jeffrey. Making me proud. I love that little
Unbelievable.
rapscallion. What a scoundrel. So close to my heart.
At this age as well, to already have such huge achievements, I cannot wait to see what he does next.
He's a high achiever in every sense of the word.
Every single sense.
And I want to reiterate to our listenership, I cannot sway the votes. I cannot change any of the, we have some of the best accountants and firms in Driftwood managing the counting of the votes. It's all very hush-hush and secretive. I have no influence over this. I did not push Jeffrey Danvers over the line to win this award. He won this on his own piracy merits.
And you do get a producer's award.
I do.
Has that. So congratulations to you as well. You're technically a producer on this orphanage.
Oh, I'm happy to support this act of adorable orphan piracy.
And now, on that note, on that absolute, I was going to say bombshell, but like the cannon blasting off the side of a boat. Dirk, you are on a high from that win. Can you channel that high into the next nomination?
Well, it is an honor for me to announce the Wet King or Wet Queen of the Year, the award for Driftwood's wettest citizen. And the nominees are Roderick Withers, Cornucopia Supreme, and Todd Roddy. And this year's Wet King or Wet Queen of the Year goes to Todd Roddy.
Wonderful.
Now, Roddy is known for his eccentric lifestyle, and this year he lived almost exclusively in a steam room, and thereby was almost perpetually wet with steam and sweat for the entirety of the year. Now, his doctors advised that this would kill him, and I cannot emphasize enough to our listeners that nobody should do this, but Todd Roddy, he's just built different. He came out from that steam room and now is being studied by the physiology department at the Driftwood University to see how the time in the steam room has affected his biology, and we congratulate him as the Wet King of the Year.
Well deserved. That man is soaking.
He is.
Soaking
wet.
Soaking. Soaking.
He is
Soaking.
so
King.
king. He that king. Love it.
That's a t-shirt.
That's
Indeed.
a t-shirt. Oh, and you know what that noise means? It's time for us to dedicate the next award to Best Film.
Ooh, okay.
We're dedicating
That's
it
the film air horn.
to films. We're dedicating it to very special films, and we're also going to award
course.
the best film. It's kind of a weird thing where we dedicate the memory of the award to film, the concept of film, but we're also gifting an award to the undertaking of film.
To a specific one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of by giving an award, you sort of do honor and dedicate it to the art itself.
You know, as
it's
soon
sort
as
of inherent. I don't think you really...
You can say it's
Yeah.
the memory of it because
Yeah.
you're not watching it right now. You're remembering the memory of it.
I'll be honest. When
all
I
the stuff that you just said, I don't know that was really necessary at all.
No, when I first started saying it, I thought this is poetic and makes sense. And then as I got further down the sentence, I realized that was not the
Sort of
case.
where
I
have
really
we
love how
gone?
you're reflecting on something that happened 20 seconds ago.
Hey,
It's good to be in a constant state of reflection.
Constant
I said I love
reflection.
this.
if you were doing the work,
You don't need to be
would know.
defensive, but this is
I
okay.
said I love this. I'm positive.
Okay.
I'm all on board.
And the nominees for Best Film 35mm photography film. Night at the Museum, the Bobby De Niro cut.
That was, if I'm remembering correctly,
That's a
the
fever
Robert
dream.
De Niro cut of that was screened to you in your
a dream.
dream.
Hey, it's a nominee. Okay.
It's doing really well with critics.
Okay,
It got
I just
enough
really strongly emphasize that
nominations.
I do not have any ability or influence in terms of any awards.
Much like the
Penelope does not either. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, much like The Brutalist, a movie that very few people have actually seen. It's doing very well in awards, even though not a lot have seen it.
Okay.
But you know
By that,
what?
so people
I've heard
appreciate
good things
it.
about both.
No, sorry. Were you looking at me looking at a camera? Just a reflection of myself there because I'm doing the work.
All right.
That's why I look at that
Go for it.
reflection.
Yeah, no, you
Someone's
got
got
it.
a little bit of Bobby De Niro in her dreams right now. Are you looking at me?
Are we looking at me? Because I'm looking at me, and that's how I'm doing the work. I'm looking at my reflection and reflecting. You know who's not nominated for this award?
Who's
the
that?
first not nominated in this category is
Worth noting sometimes.
The Brutalist. Not nominated.
Tragic.
Not out here yet.
No,
Yeah,
not out here.
can be.
Can't
Not
be.
out in most places.
No.
Yeah, it's logistical.
Seems great, though.
Can't be nominated. Sure.
We-
Very
Really
excited
good
about
film.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The third nominee for
Can't
best film.
comment. Can't comment. Don't know.
Only the bit of Troy where Brian Cox shouted in an ill-fitting helmet.
Which was a film that came out a long time ago in most places, but very recent here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A new release for us.
It just got the people real excited when he screamed in that
Yeah.
helmet that
Not-
didn't quite fit
yeah.
him right.
The rest of the film, good, fine.
Yeah,
the
decent
job.
film.
But that bit
I think we can all agree that that was the apex of that film.
and
You know,
the
the
apex.
battle
Was
of
the Ajax as well.
Ajax.
Brad Pitt and Eric Bana in that sequence was fine.
Fine.
Fine bit of fight choreography. The Siege of Troy, that's fine.
Yeah.
It was
There
okay.
was a horse.
When Brian Cox screamed
Mm.
on a chariot in an ill-fitting
10 out of
helmet,
10.
I think everyone's hearts soared.
Sword.
And stopped at the same time.
Mhm.
Skip the beat.
And the
Leapt.
fourth nomination.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm just going. I just get so
It's very
excited
exciting.
to
It's
talk
very
about Brian
exciting.
Cox's Agamemnon. Go on.
The fourth nomination in best film. That one where the train came towards the screen.
Oh, I love that one so much.
They re-release that every year just so it can be
God.
up for awards recognitions
Listen.
because it deserves it so
Yeah.
Listen, it's a classic. It's
Yeah.
a classic. You don't really get any better than that.
for a reason. It's a classic.
And
a
we
lot of people are saying it's
also-
been downhill ever since.
Obviously, a lot of award ceremonies, especially the film ones, have very particular release date requirements
Mhm.
for a film to be eligible for awards. Not here.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, not at all.
at all. We will include a film that was out years ago. We will
Literally
include.
the first
We
one.
just
Yeah.
won't include a film that's not out yet.
No, of course not.
No.
We can't deal in the future. We
But if
haven't
it
lived
is shown in a theater
Or
over the course of the
in
year,
Or a
one
cast out of Paris.
person's dream,
or a dream,
we will include it.
yes.
A cafe
Well,
in Paris
it just
to a
has
bunch
to
of
have been-
scared onlookers.
hmm
hmm
It just has to have been experienced by a resident of Driftwood within the past year.
And hey, the winner of Best Film and receiving the Woodies laurel to put on their film poster alongside the laurels of illustrious and impressive film festivals from around the whole world is that bit of Troy where Brian Cox shouted in an ill-fitting helmet.
Oh, you knew I was going to be happy about this
Yes.
one, Penelope. I
Yeah.
think you knew my reaction to this. Again, my horses are winning today. We got Jeffrey Danvers getting over the line to win this award. We got Brian Cox winning his award. I could not be happier.
Fantastic.
He's getting a
What
lot
a
of
night.
critical acclaim nowadays for recent roles of his.
Mhm.
I'm glad he's getting recognition for his Agamemnon scream.
Fantastic. And hey, let's keep going. Let's keep the show on the road, just like Brian Cox did when he shouted as Agamemnon in an ill-fitting helmet. He kept that show, the
Mhm.
Battle of Troy, the siege. At what point
Moving
does a battle
forward.
become a siege? That's a question for another time.
When they get over the walls and the other side kind of gives up.
Isn't
Twice
it
a
kind
day.
Would you also say though it's kind of a siege when they're just surrounding the walls, or is it the act of? You know what? This is a question
siege,
for
yeah.
another time because we don't want to overshadow
Okay.
the
We have more
awards.
awards.
We should
We
get
have
back
more
to that,
awards.
though.
Yeah, we
We'll
don't want to
definitely
over.
circle back to
Yeah.
this.
We'll circle back.
Much like Thetis, we will. I know a
Shout
lot
out
of.
Thetis.
Unlike
been
Thetis,
getting-
who did not circle back to dip the ankle.
That's
Good
true.
point. Thetis
Famously.
is the mother of Achilles, who dipped him in the river Styx,
In a
but
real
missed
weird
that
way.
ankle. And we've been getting your fan mail. We will get back to a few episodes ago. We talked about Thetis. We will get back for our Thetis deep dive one of these days.
Absolutely.
We're just making sure we got all the research that we need to fully do honor to Thetis.
Do
Yeah.
honor to Thetis.
Yes.
Bench.
Well, the next award, staying on theme, is Best Actor.
Ooh.
Phenomenal. We're going through the little movie
Little
section.
arts
We're going through the
department.
little movie
arts
section.
department.
Of course, our Best Actor is a non-gendered category. It's just acting in general.
Mhm.
And the nominees are Jebediah Klump for Gene.
Stunning performance.
Very exciting.
Mhm.
Jack Wiley for Unstoppable Fury Time.
He's unstoppable.
Oh,
I wasn't happy when I saw he was nominated, but fingers crossed he doesn't pull through here.
well,
It's
then
my brother, Jack Wiley. I was going to say happy for his success. I'm really not, but
Beloved.
acknowledging of his success. I can commit to that.
beloved, talented actor who
By some.
famously saved cinemas so many times in so many ways. A true hero.
Undeserved credit.
Vanessa Hellspawn for Water Walk.
Vanessa,
Vanessa.
I'd say her performance this year
performance.
was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Put Jack to shame. Anyway, go on.
And our final nominee, I gotta say, kind of snubbed in the best film category.
Mhm.
Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures.
Thank goodness. I thought this was going to be the first year that Hidden Figures wasn't going to get awards recognition. I'm really glad they're on the
Yeah,
they're on the
that
ballot,
was a
but they're
that was a
nominated.
very close, almost non-existent Hidden Figures. They're saving it for the last nomination. Of
They usually
Best
clean
Actor.
up. Hidden Figures, most popular film on Driftwood, year after year after year.
Remember when it won Best Park?
Yeah, people just couldn't get enough.
Couldn't get enough.
And there was a technicality. They showed Hidden Figures at a park on a projector.
That counted.
And so that experience was
Hey, you don't need to convince me. That's
Yeah.
a park.
Yeah, that's a part.
I'll admit the council was more than willing to allow them in and sort of judge the requirements to make that work. People, there was just a reverie around Hidden Figures that year. There was just a glow.
And really every year.
Every year
since.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, so much joy.
the award for Best Actor goes to Octavia Spencer, Hidden Figures.
There we go.
What a
And once
sigh of
again,
relief.
they're not going to go without their recognition for the year, and I'm so happy about that. Octavia Spencer, congratulations. Hidden Figures cast and crew, congratulations.
And you're definitely not happy for any other reason, like the fact that Jack, once again.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. He didn't win. I guess that's
He
probably an
keeps-
indictment on his quality and craft and talent as an actor and his contributions
No, I
to.
think it's just so difficult to overtake Octavia Spencer.
I feel like every year he has lost to a different cast member of the film Hidden Figures.
I think every
the
year
Violet
people.
Davis year was a great year.
Oh,
I think every year people just sort of recognize that he's not. He's there, he's very present. So that's why he's on the nominees list, but he's not. He's never the best of anything.
it's kind
He's-
of like
his
you
excellence is-
forget that he doesn't already have one. It's like, oh, he must have like dozens.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What about that, Bench?
Oh, Dirk.
Kind of disagree with you on
Time
that.
for another award. Time for a little.
Yeah,
Would you like to
there we
present
go.
an
This
award?
is the Driftwood Robotics Award.
Huh.
There we go. And the nominees are Dale Henwick, Katarina Hornswallow, and Fleur Je ne sais quoi. And the Driftwood Robotics Award goes to Dale Henwick for his robot, the Slapbot 5000.
Oh, slap ball.
Yep. Now, this is a bit of a controversial pick, as usual. Well, because we all know Dale Henwick is a brilliant roboticist. He wins this award pretty consistently, but he basically just trolls the robotics community with all of his inventions. So the Slapbot 5000 is a robot that appears to be just a 1 square foot shiny metal box with a red button on top. And if you press it, then a hand will emerge from the box and slap you hard across the face. But here's the thing. The imaging and diagnostic technology contained within the Slapbot 5000 is staggeringly advanced. When you press the button, the Slapbot is able to instantaneously identify where your face is, where it's positioned, if you're moving in any way, if you're trying to block the slap, how you're attempting to do so. It's able to diagnose all of these issues so that no matter what, it will slap you across the face. The hand can come from any sides of the box, get you from any angle, somehow accurately and instantaneously subvert and overcome any effort to prevent the slap. And this capability has mystified any and all robotics experts who have assessed it.
I do
and Dale
believe
loves it. Because
they-
also to assess it, they have to get slapped a whole lot.
Well, they based a lot of the AI algorithm on that. They trained it on the slap from the Oscars that one year. Is that right?
Because no one saw that coming.
No one.
No.
Yeah.
And you couldn't stop that.
No.
Yeah. And so this technology is so applicable to so many things, but he just refuses to allow anyone to. He won't license it. He won't sell it. Just trolling everyone.
He watched Oppenheimer. He knows what could happen.
If the Slapbot 5000 got into the wrong hands.
Oof.
Yeah. And the technology therein.
Who would play the Slapbot 5000?
Brian
I know the
Cox.
Cillian
Slapbot is
Murphy.
like a
Brian
silver.
Cox.
Brian
Cillian
Cox.
Murphy.
Cillian Murphy. Because I
Cillian
know
would do a good job as
Yeah.
well.
I know that the Slapbot is just a silver box with a button on it, but I really feel like either of those actors have the gravitas to truly inhabit and emote.
I think perhaps the only way it could be improved if when you press the button and it slapped you, it let out the Agamemnon yell simultaneously.
Can you imagine?
Be a very
You
victorious
can
sort of
imagine.
cry.
That was
can
such
imagine.
enough.
I just said
affirmative.
it. I just said the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can
So
imagine
he
it.
imagined it,
I
yeah.
imagined it before you
You're
asked me that
so
question.
good at Dirk is so proud of his imagining prowess.
I see so many things in my mind.
It's actually what John Lennon was singing about back in the day.
About me?
Imagining all the things.
That makes
Imagine
sense.
all the people.
I see them now. I see them now in my brain palace. There they are. It's Brian Cox. It's my dad. It's Octavia Spencer.
You know what? We maybe don't have time for you to list all of the people.
Okay,
I'll
we
keep
need to
moving.
keep going. We have a few
on
more
here.
awards to get through.
Because we obviously, so many awards, so little time.
Fair.
Next up, we have highest insurance claims for a theme park. And as always, just one nominee in this category. As always, Activity Park for a series of catastrophic failures, including ride-goers being left upside down, sideways, backwards, and forwards across multiple rides when one of the teenage employees hit the emergency stop all park rides button and went on a smoke break. And hey, the winner of highest insurance claims for a theme park, as always, Activity Park.
There they go.
Congratulations on hitting a casual 875 incident reports this year. I'm sure you'll break the 1,000 barrier soon. Oh, wonderful.
They were really going for the 3 a day.
Yeah.
That's some good math.
They're just taking off screws to try to, they're taking screws out of random stuff to try to incite more.
Yeah.
They're also getting a lot of representation in the in memoriam section.
It's true. It's also very true. Activity Park has their hands
More
all
than
over
any other
the
park
awards.
in the in memoriam section.
Yeah.
Activity Park really have their hands in pies of piracy pot. No,
Close.
You said it, Penny.
Indeed. And they were not nominated for Best Park.
that's a good point.
No.
Yeah.
I can't
It's
imagine.
a horrible
I
park.
Yeah, it's a
can't
terrifying
imagine
place.
you could be
Well,
nominated
you know
for
who
highest
could?
insurance claims for the Hidden Figures film.
No, Dirk could imagine.
Oh, you could
Whatever you said,
imagine.
you can
I could
imagine.
imagine
I'm
it.
Okay.
sure the Dirk could.
Could you imagine being nominated for both Best Park and also highest insurance claim for a park?
Yes, I see it now. There I am. A park.
Oh, he's embodying the park.
Oh, and I hurt somebody with Mr. Wilson and the boys.
Yeah.
And they're suing me for
Okay.
insurance.
This, I feel like we have
But
to.
are
But
you
I'm
also
obviously
the best park?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, I mean, it's me.
You know what? That answered that. You
That
can't
checks
imagine
out.
that.
You can't imagine that.
imagine it.
I see it now.
I feel like we could just keep going with him imagining it, but I do
We do
like
have-
Matthias is like making a lot of
We are
frantic
going
hand
long.
gestures.
I'll
so
concede the floor.
concede the floor to Dirk Wiley
that's me.
with another nomination. You're conceding the floor to yourself.
Okay, fantastic. Then I don't have to concede the floor. I'll
No,
just
no, no,
stay
no,
on
no.
the floor.
Maintain
We
the
need
floor.
you. We need you as part of the organization of this to concede and then
You need to
recede.
concede.
But with a
recede.
different thing.
Yeah. I need you to like concede.
So I'll concede the
Concede.
floor
Yeah.
as a
Not-
park
Do not
and
yield.
take the
Concede
floor
the
as
floor.
myself.
Yes.
Okay, I can understand that intellectually. Emotionally, it's difficult because I was really getting into the park thing. But the award for culinary excellence, sponsored by Lionel Titty's Swan Jerky, the nominees are Chef Prissy Peru, as well as Chef Wally Skellington and Chef Angelica Balls. And the award for culinary excellence, sponsored by the good folks at Lionel Titty Swan Jerky, goes to Chef Angelica Balls for her signature Angelica Balls, which are an appetizer comprised of cranberry, horseradish, egg yolks, and platypus milk, as well as other secret ingredients. Nobody really understands how it tastes so good, but people just, they can't get enough. You know, she has her shop that exclusively sells this one item and only a limited number each day because of the limited supply of platypus milk she has access to. But this scarcity has just run up the price of Angelica Balls, which currently stands at $98 per Angelica Ball, and they are really delicious.
I would
phenomenal
pay
treat.
double that amount.
I mean,
Mm.
when I had an Angelica ball, I was having a ball.
Well said. Well said.
I was having a good time.
Are you
Yeah.
just trying to? Are you gunning to get mentioned in the advert? You know, like a film poster.
That
review?
sounded like-
it
yeah.
feels like you're gunning for
Like you
that.
want her
Going
to
for the
like
pull
put that
quotes.
in neon
Yeah.
or like on a poster and then
Yeah.
put it up in the
I
front.
really want to be pull quoted for anything.
Yeah.
If it's catchy enough, people will do it. So
Yeah. Well,
I
after
applaud
all,
your effort.
you are on the poster for Activity Park.
It's true.
Mhm. From that
It's
time you
true.
shattered your pelvis.
I shattered the quote does say, I shattered my pelvis in Activity Park.
Yep.
Bench PerDiem.
Bench PerDiem.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Both on the pelvis shattering, not so much on the pelvis shattering, but also
On the
being
recovering
cool.
from
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you
That was a long
overcame so
process.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
hey,
Thanks.
why don't you take that now newly recovered pelvis and you shake on out another category?
Remember
All
nursing you to
right.
help and delivering you angelica balls.
Well, our next category is Best Microphone. Best Microphone.
Mm.
And the nominees are Bigfoot Green, NutriBullet Size 3, Lavs parentheses any, and Shotgun parentheses gun.
A lot of people thought the Labs Any was too vague. There was a little bit of an uproar in the microphone community amongst that. And then they were quickly made quiet by the shotgun. That was a gun.
It was also
They
the
stopped
argument
complaining when the shotgun showed up and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, it's fine.
The argument for Lavs any, I believe, was that they're so small.
So
they should all compete as
You
one.
lose them so easily.
Mm,
There, you just find them. They're like confetti. You just find them in your
Yeah.
hair
valid.
weeks later.
Valid.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, who's been listening?
I know.
Yeah.
Not me, because I didn't remember where I put them.
Mm.
And the award for Best Microphone goes to Shotgun parentheses gun.
Whoa.
Not surprised. They threatened a lot of people.
A bit of an upset from an objective point of view, but if you really think about this for a second, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot
Not
of
great
sense.
at capturing sound. If anything, eliminates sound because you go deaf oftentimes after a loud gunshot happens in your vicinity. So a different choice, but I'm not going to argue with it because I don't want to have to deal with
Hey.
a shotgun
Yep.
Hey,
in my vicinity at all.
we cannot fault them. They put a lot of money into sort of trying to get these nominations
Mhm.
through for
Mhm.
themselves. Like there's big money
Big money.
there, and we have to
Big shotgun.
big shotgun money.
Big money,
and
big shotgun.
You know, boy, imagine doing a list of categories without them. They'll be right there protesting that.
Yeah. We'd be dealing with a big
Oh,
shotgun in the studio, I
Oh,
feel like,
boy.
if
Oh,
we
boy.
locked them out of the categories.
Wow.
Not for us. No, thank you.
Yeah, they don't really
Absolutely.
care what award they get, but they always get one.
Mm-hmm.
And next up, worst cancellation.
Mm.
Here we go. It's always a controversial moment in the Isles when a cancellation takes place.
Indeed.
Lots of emotions felt. But there can only be 3 nominees and there can only be one winner, as is the law of mathematics of award shows.
Indeed.
Our
Good
first
suspense building.
Our first nomination, Perk's Cafe. The sitcom featuring 4 20-somethings juggling life and relationships whilst working in a cafe was cancelled after just 3 episodes this year when it was discovered it was written by an AI trained on American sitcoms. Will Trent and Mindy ever get together? Who knows? Not us. That show's cancelled.
Mhm.
Our first nomination, Perk's Cafe.
I thought their first mistake was naming them Trent and Mindy.
They were incredibly on the nose American name, you know, like let's make like some random American names. You know, I'm surprised. Well, actually, no, wasn't one of the characters just called Baseball?
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun nickname.
No, that was his legally given name.
I thought that was fun.
No, they showed his driver's license and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was a character named Baseball. And he was just a guy.
yeah.
Baseball didn't even feature into his storylines whatsoever.
Baseball touchdown Toby. The surname was Toby. That's not even a
Baseball-
surname.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clearly pandering.
Yeah.
Clearly pandering.
I enjoyed it.
The second.
Guilty pleasure.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I get it.
Sometimes someone's pandering in a show, and you're like, you know
Hey.
what? I like it. Fan service.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Thank you for servicing me.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Our second nominee of worst cancellation, Northside Black and White Fishing Documentary Film Festival. A lack of submissions this year led the festival to discover they had already every film possible submitted. Locals begged the festival organisers to expand the entry criteria to even colour films or documentaries about other topics, but they would not budge. This year, the Northside Black and White Fishing Documentary Film Festival, much to the fish wives and fish maids and fish women's
Fish community at
fish
large.
community, the largest disappointment, was cancelled.
Fish folk.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that one too late. Really wanted
Much
to get this
like,
in
Okay.
there.
much like making changes to the Fishing Documentary Film Festival.
late.
It was too
Probably
late.
Too
Before
late.
they knew
Too
it, it
little,
was
too
too
late.
late.
Too late.
And that's a sign of, not advancing with the times.
No, you gotta.
Because fish documentaries and underwater documentaries, they're quite majestic and beautiful when you have a beautiful,
Lovely.
nice IMAX or like a big TV and gorgeous colors
those
and
IMAX
it's so
TVs
lush.
you have at home.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. You feel like you're immersed. But when you're just watching black and white fish, it kind of takes the magic out of it a little bit.
I heard some of them were actually filmed in color, and then they just had to do some processing in the end just to get it to go into the film festival.
Yes.
messed up.
But why
That's
did they
messed up.
insist
It's a shame.
on screening all of them with an old box television?
Oh, honestly.
Like if we saw it in a cinema, it would be
They
a little
have
more
projectors.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yet they insist on little tiny
Hey.
little tube
Yeah.
TVs.
Hey,
It's actually in a cinema. They just put
Yeah.
a television at the front.
It's one of those
and
like
they refuse to use the
It's
projector.
televisions that like the substitute teacher would bring in. Like
Yeah,
the
they
class.
wheel it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, we're saying worst cancellation. We're not saying most obvious cancellation
Hey,
here.
Fair point.
That was 3 hours ago.
Fair point.
And the third nomination in worst cancellation. Oh, that rhymed.
Ooh,
Oh, that
Did it?
that made me so happy the way
Little
that
shiver.
flowed. Brick penmanship, beloved host of Cash for Winners, this top game show host. After it was discovered he was skimming prize money from the pot into his own bank account to pay for bets on who'd win his own show. It's a messy, messy situation all around and disappointing for those of us in the entertainment industry.
Mhm.
yeah.
A lot of people looked up to him.
A lot of people. If you can't trust the game show host, who can you trust?
No one
They're the arbiter of so much. Who wins, who loses, who has money.
who
Ooh.
wins, who dies.
Yeah, some depending on the game show. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we cut to an advert break.
Hmm.
Disappointing. Disappointing all
Yeah.
around. And the award for worst cancellation goes to Brick Penmanship. Congratulations.
Hey, I feel like that record scratch should have stopped some of the applause there.
Why? They're just people applauding. You can't
I guess
stop
that's
them
right.
with a record scratch.
Each one of
bench.
those is an individual person with their own human needs and desires.
We
You can't
have an
just
audience
stop
in
them.
studio today, which
Yeah.
we
do.
rarely do.
Yeah.
Rarely do, but each one of them a winner of a competition to get to be
Indeed.
here for
And-
this.
And I appreciate
Yeah.
the fact that they all cheer in the exact same fashion for each.
Wonderful.
They've
each
rehearsed
winner.
much like we rehearsed
Indeed.
in just our.
'Cause they don't
general
want anyone to
mannerisms.
feel less or more valued as a winner.
No.
Anyone who wins should get their shining moment. And
not
these
more, not
folks,
less.
except for, I guess, the cancellation. I
Yeah.
feel like this should be really
That
looked
should
at
be
on as a
different.
shining moment for
No.
that. But
Congratulations.
recognition
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Yeah. And thank you so much to our audience who have sat with us for almost 5 hours now. But hey,
Oof.
the end is in sight because, Dirk, I believe this is the last of the awards you have to read out.
It is. Indeed, it is. It's the Driftwood Horticulture Award. And the nominees are Dominic Toretto, no relation to the character from the Fast and Furious franchise. Willem Dafoe. Yes, he is the actor. Very much relation to that because he is that man. And Matilda Candyfloss. And the winner of the Driftwood Horticulture Award is Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
Congratulations,
indeed.
Willem.
For
What
the-
can you not do?
well
Right?
deserved.
He created a species of a vine that sounds like a choir when the wind blows through it. The shape of the leaves creates a whistling sound, and the different sized leaves make the whole thing just sound like a choir. People have described it as haunting, creepy, and, quote, cool at first, but gets super annoying. But Willem Dafoe, he's covered his Driftwood estate in the vines, and he seems to really just love that whole vibe. So
I was gonna
congratulations
say-
to beloved Driftwood resident Willem Dafoe, famous actor and horticulture hobbyist.
I was going to say that description can also use to describe Willem Dafoe himself.
Absolutely.
Ah.
I thought that's where you were going with that.
Haunting, creepy, and I would say never gets super annoying though. I'd say always cool.
Always happy for him to appear.
Always cool. I'm
True.
anytime I see Willem, whether in life walking around the aisle as we do because he's a
Mhm.
resident here, or in a film, literally never misses.
Never skips a
Nothing
beat.
he does on a screen does anything but make that moment and that film better.
Can't argue with that. One
Can't
bet.
argue with that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the finale of the Woodies, the final award
Mhm.
of the morning. Bench, take it away.
Thank you, Penny. I'm very, very excited to present the final award, which is, of course, Best Radio or Podcast Ensemble.
It's A lot of, as you can imagine, there's a lot of fingers crossed, a lot of tension in the room on this one. We got all our crew in the booth there. They're all standing, holding each other's hands in sweet anticipation. Let's see how it goes for us.
The nominees are Terry Wu Drops Acid With You.
It's a good show.
It was a good show. Obviously, this is my home, but you know when me and Terry get together.
Yeah. You don't have to.
We've all been guests on Terry's show.
Yeah, you guys came and dropped acid too. It was lovely.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
We have CBB Presents, but only the Heinz I'm Proud to Meet You episodes.
Phenomenal piece of work.
Wonderful piece of art.
Every
wordy
single
name.
one.
Very wordy name.
One could argue
wordy and worthy.
Wordy
and worthy of every word included in it.
Indeed.
And worthy of its acclaim here today.
I love that we have branched out into subscriber only
content.
Here.
Well, oftentimes the best material can be there.
Behind the paywalls.
Our listeners here today of this show, it's just by sheer luck that they get to enjoy the solid gold slipping from our lips every day.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I did stumble, so I could have said it better myself, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Too self-deprecating. You would have said it great.
I'm bad.
I love you, Bench.
I love you too. I love both of you.
Who else is nominated?
The next nominee, I don't want to say their name, but it's the other radio show.
You don't have to say their names. Don't even say it.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on that, but the other radio show that is number one in the
It's weird because
quote ratings.
Yep. They're number one. We're number two. We're aware of it.
we organize these awards.
Yeah, I know.
So we,
if anything,
here at the station,
this should be evidence that we do not sway the awards one way or the other.
Yeah, but it's just so
We're
annoying
being fair.
Them.
Gotta be fair.
We have, this is also the biggest category. We do have 5 nominees.
Of course.
More than any. The next nominee is, of course, only the audio parts for Hidden Figures. Only the audio parts for Hidden Figures, very popular.
If you take away the vision part of it, it is, if anything, it still is good.
At
you
this
get to
point,
imagine.
At this point, I've seen it so many times that I don't even need to be watching it. If I just listen to it, then I can. Sometimes I don't even need to listen to it. Like, I can see it now.
Can you imagine a version of Hidden Figures where it's only Robert De Niro playing the characters? Or is that too much?
I think we have time for this. We can go along. Is that right?
Yes.
It's the most
I see it
tense moment in the show.
I mean, I'm sure that it loses all of sort of the credibility of the plot.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
And the meaning of the film.
Yeah, the sort of triumph of those particular characters. It doesn't
go as
the logic of the storyline and its historical and cultural context don't make quite as much sense. And I would say Octavia Spencer and Janelle Monáe and all of the wonderful cast do a much better job of that than Robert De Niro in this particular instance.
Raji.
But I can see it now.
You can do the Kevin Costner role, probably.
Sure, man. Yeah, I guess you could.
I can imagine just that.
That one. Yeah,
who else is nominated?
And the final nominee, guys, it's Good Morning Driftwood.
Oh, thank goodness. I was getting tense there. If we weren't, the microphone was coming out, the microphone holder, and I was going to launch it.
I would have thrown a fit.
5 hours I've been here presenting this.
I've got to at least get the nomination.
Yeah.
And
it is just an honor to be nominated.
It is an honor to be nominated.
Whether or not we win, still want to thank everyone.
Awards aren't why we do this.
As long as certain other nominees don't win,
it's a reason.
It's a win for us.
But it's not the reason.
Is it the reason?
I'm not going to commit to saying it's not.
Let's get the winner.
And the award for Best Radio or Podcast Ensemble goes to, once again, only the audio for Hidden Figures.
It sweeps every award.
We knew it was coming, and it's deserved every damn time.
We can all get behind.
The folks in the room are happy, and I can't be mad at Hidden Figures.
No.
I can never be mad at Hidden Figures,
It's
even if I lose.
Really, the only answer here that would be satisfactory in a plot perspective to all of us.
I think it is the answer that would satisfy the entire island of Driftwood.
Absolutely.
And I think it also sums up the heart and soul of the people of Driftwood.
Oh, you're so right. And in lieu of an acceptance speech from the cast and filmmakers of Hidden Figures, I think Dirk, that was a beautiful way for you to sum up all of our emotions and all
Oh
of
my
our
God.
feelings. And
We got a speech from them.
oh, can you imagine?
Oh, I see it now. Words, they're so beautiful.
Ladies
If
and
you could
gentlemen,
see what I see.
thank you so much for joining us here at the Woodies, Driftwood Isles premier radio station organized and funded
Good point, Janelle Monáe. Good point.
radio awards. We will leave you now to imagine your own things, whether that be an acceptance speech by the cast of Hidden Figures, an entire film of Robert De Niro's, or just the people. We'll see you again very soon.
Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.